And welcome back to the 62nd USHA Four-Wall National Handball Championships, live from Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley, California. My name is Dave Vincent, alongside Cesar Pimental, who will be calling this match. Luis Moreno and Andy Nett, alongside their opponents, Chip Morales and Vic Perez. Cesar, you play out of Tucson, Arizona. You're 10 years of age.
Yes.
How much do you love the sport of handball?
Well, I love it a lot because I started learning from a pro, and his name is Abraham, and he taught me how to play handball since I was 8 years old, and I've been playing it since I got to 10.
Okay, so you're 10 now.
Yeah.
And you've been playing since you were 8. And you love handball. You play small ball or big ball?
I play small ball.
Okay. Now you and I actually went into the court and played handball a few times.
Yes.
And you scored some points. You almost got into double digits.
Yes.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to do that more often. I see you on Wednesday nights down at our practice night. What is it about the sport of handball that you love as a 10-year-old?
It's fun because sometimes I get competitive people and not just people that I could beat easily. And what I love about it is competitive is more a challenge, and I love challenges.
You do? So
Yes.
like besides handball, what else challenges you?
Besides handball, my sport will probably be soccer.
Okay, so you like the challenge of soccer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're good in school, right? You like that
Yes.
challenge. And then handball comes along and you say, wait a second, this is pretty challenging. What is it about handball that is so challenging to you? Is it that you feel like you're against your opponent, or do you feel like you're really trying to, you're really kind of against yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because, well, you need to have practice, and you do not want to stop doing practice. Practice makes not perfect, but best.
Oh, wow, I like that. Practice does not make perfect, but it makes best.
1-0.
I just learned something from a 10-year-old. That's Chip Morales serving the ball here. You know Luis Moreno from Tucson, Arizona. Here he is with his left hand.
Yeah.
Luis Moreno's playing alongside Andy Nett, who is also in the top 8. Chip Morales and Vic Perez are inspiring top handball players. You saw Vic Perez, who's wearing the dark shirt
0-1.
on the left side here, retrieving the serve. Try to hit a ball behind his back there.
Yeah.
Cesar. Have you ever hit a ball behind your back?
Point.
Tried, and I
Yeah.
did not make it.
Okay, well, Vic didn't make it either, so you guys are equal right now.
1-1.
One serves one.
Point.
There's a point being called here. Now,
2-1.
Andy Nett and Luis Moreno have 2. Watching this play develop. Does this seem, as a 10-year-old,
Point.
just like you can't follow it, or are you following this pretty good here, Cesar?
I followed it.
3-1.
Okay. The score is 3-1. What is Luis Moreno trying to do on the serve?
He's probably trying to wrap around it.
Okay. And then what?
Well, he usually kills it. If
Okay.
he could. Sometimes, if they give him setups, he could probably. He
Okay,
always
so
kills
what
it.
he's trying to do is create a setup with
Yeah.
the serve. Okay, so as a 10-year-old, you already know
3-1.
more than I do as a 40-year-old.
Kind of.
That really hurts my feelings.
No. Point.
So Chip Morales is
4-1.
returning the serve from Luis Moreno, and Luis is actually hitting to him to try to get him to give him a setup.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Luis is pretty good at kill shots.
Yeah.
All right. Already after 90 seconds, you're better than my normal play-by-play commentator, Dave Fink.
Point.
This national championship is a celebration of handball from ages of 9 or 8
5-1.
all the way up to 90 years of age.
Yeah.
And Cesar, this is not your first time playing in a major handball tournament,
Hold
right?
it.
No.
Yes.
Talk about your
That's a
previous
handball.
tournaments.
I played in the junior nationals.
5-1.
And
How'd you do there?
I got second place, 9 and under.
1.
Okay, 9 and under, second place.
Yeah.
Second
and
serve.
I played in many tournaments in Tucson and in out of state,
Hold it.
like in California.
Hinder.
And I'm hoping to go to Ireland.
Wow, the World Championships.
5-1.
Yes. 5-1.
Now, you have a lot of family members that also play handball. Can you talk about that?
Well, starting from the oldest is Juan Avila,
Okay.
and then it goes down to my brother Tony. He doesn't play that much, but he has been playing, and it goes to Jesus Avila, and it goes to my brother Tony. Oh, my brother George.
My gosh, how many brothers do you
Come
have?
down.
I got 5 brothers, and
And they all play handball.
no, except one.
Who's the one that doesn't
Oh,
play?
two of them.
5-1.
Yeah, one. Yeah, one.
Okay, what
His name is Joseph,
Wow.
and he doesn't like handball. He rather plays. He likes soccer.
Okay. Soccer players are good handball players, though.
Yeah.
We have Cesar Pimental, who's in the, I guess, 11 and under
Yeah.
nationals here. Nice get right
Hold it.
there.
Oh.
Yes. Hinder ball on your shot. Yeah. Hinder
There's going
on
to be a
yours.
hinder called here and a replay.
Had to make sure you could get it. 5-1.
The referee said that he wanted to make sure that Chip could even get to that ball. Smart
Oh.
call from the referee.
Moreno
What do you-
to 5 and Perez to 1.
Second serve.
Thank you very much. I forgot to say that. Tell me what you like about this four-wall national championship. Is
Well-
this one of your favorite tournaments?
Yes, because there's first
Point.
I never seen Paul Brady play, and I finally got to meet him.
6-1.
And yeah, he played a wonderful game.
Tell me about Paul Brady. Even though I know you haven't seen him play
Point.
previously, what about his game that's
7-1.
different than other players?
Well, he tries his hardest, and he never gives up. He keeps on going and going.
Point.
Can you learn from a guy like Paul Brady by watching him play?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's our national
8-1.
champion now, and you see another guy that could rival Paul Brady in years to come, Luis Moreno.
Yes.
But look at this Andy Nett, who's
Yeah.
in the blue shirt here, hits the ball really hard. Did you watch any of his
9-1.
matches?
No, I haven't.
His serve is unbelievable.
Point.
See how players are swinging and
Yep,
missing
and
from his serve.
airballing it.
Airballing his serve, as
Timeout.
Caesar says.
60 seconds.
This will be a 60-second timeout. My name is Dave Vincent alongside 11 and under standout Cesar Pimental from Tucson, Arizona. Cesar, you were introduced to the game of handball. How did that happen? What was the first day, the first time you ever played handball? What happened?
Well, I did not. The first time I ever hit a
Hello,
handball,
hello.
I got it. I hit it to the wall. The second time, not so good. I missed it.
But
And
who introduced
hello.
you to the game? How did you find the sport of handball?
I was in Kitco, and
Kidco, okay,
Yeah.
which is a park and recreation's activity group.
Yeah.
Okay.
and Abraham was one of the activity people, and he will take us out some hours to go play
15
handball.
seconds.
Oh, okay. So you met through a handball player who introduced you through the Kidco program,
Yeah.
Abraham Montijo. And now you formed a relationship with Abe. What is it about Abraham Montijo, who is the development director of the World Players of Handball? What do you like about Abraham and how he treats the kids?
Resuming
He
play.
is a very good coach
10-1.
because he always tries to get you better, and he doesn't stop, and
Green.
he tries to get better for he could try to for we could watch his games and we could try to get better.
Okay, right. So you can watch
10-1.
him, you can learn
Two
from him.
serves,
Yep.
one
He wants you to
screen.
get better. He always gives you advice. But off the court, what do you like about Abe?
He's funny, and
Short.
he could have
Second
fun.
serve.
What about the stuff about discipline, where he He
Well-
makes sure that you guys open doors for other people.
Yeah,
and
he wants us to be respectful. He doesn't want us to be rude.
Okay. You
Coming
like that
in.
part about Abe?
Yeah,
Why?
because while he's saying that we
1,
should be
10.
respectful, it's very smart because if you will not be respectful, then
One
you
down.
will not get that much people's attention, and you
Okay.
won't have
1,
friends.
So
10.
Abe wants you to get attention
Yeah.
when you get older
So,
and have friends.
Yeah, for we can have a bunch of people watching our
Okay.
games.
All right. I'm glad you learned that lesson from Abraham. As we go back into the action here, Chip Morales hits that ball to the right side, then pounded by Luis Moreno, flipped up there by Vic Perez. Moreno's just pounding
Coming
balls
in.
right now, and you can see that Moreno and Nett are just dominating this first game here at 10-1.
10-1.
Luis Moreno wearing the black shirt serving here.
Point.
Chip Morales now playing the left. He's a right side specialist. But when you're trailing 11-1, you have to try new things sometimes. Caesar.
Yes.
Hold it.
That ball could be played over
Replay.
because it went between the legs of
Yep. Of Luis Moreno.
Luis Moreno.
11-1.
Thank you. I almost forgot that. There's two guys wearing the black shirt. I have to look twice.
Point.
And then Vic Perez hitting that ball in the ground. What's the one thing out of all the stuff
12-1.
that you like about handball, Caesar? 10-year-old Caesar from Tucson, Arizona,
The one
Point.
thing
that you like.
that I like is that you could kill the ball, and you could. Mostly, the people
13-1.
could never get it.
Right. Well,
Most of the time.
it's hard to get a kill
Yeah.
shot. That's the one thing you like about handball is the kill shot?
Yep.
What about the off-court stuff?
Off court, how people saying keep on trying and never give up,
One
and
down.
that I could be the next Luis Moreno.
Oh, wow. Okay.
13-1.
I have friends that say that I could be
Point.
the next Fat Albert from the cartoon, so I understand exactly what you're talking
14-1.
about. It's always good to hear some nice stuff from these people who talk about how
1-3.
good you could be or are, of course.
Net serving.
Andy Nett is from Winona, Minnesota.
14-1.
He has a really good serve, Caesar.
It looks like it's a killer serve because most of the time they barely return it.
Point.
What's your favorite serve?
Favorite serve is a wraparound
15-1.
Why is that?
because when it does a wraparound, it's like kind of
Point.
fun because you see the ball go in a circle, and that most of the time that like if I serve it
15-1.
and some people, they'll probably miss it.
Ball. Over the line.
Nett and Moreno,
Second
16.
serve.
Perez and Maldonado.
Morales.
Morales.
I know the sun's kind of
That's right.
shining on the screen here. It's hard to read it.
17-1.
But that's Chip Morales wearing the red shirt, retrieving the serve. The score is 16-1. You see the right side player playing really far back here, Caesar.
Yes.
There needs to be somebody playing up front near
Thank
where
you.
Moreno is at. In
Point.
fact, even in front of Moreno.
18-1, Moreno. And
This
Nett
is
is
first
up.
game.
18-1.
First game.
Hold it. Inner ball.
In there, he almost hit Moreno.
18-1. Point.
Perez tried to dive for the ball. That didn't go very well.
Perez tried.
Yeah.
19.
That's all you can ask for here sometimes, Caesar, is that you give the best that you can give. And that's the thing that's important about handball is that you have to give the best
Second serve.
on the court and off the court, right?
Yes.
You learned that with Abraham Montijo and the youth program at Tucson.
Yes.
Oh, that ball just fades away.
Coming in.
Both Andy and Chip have nothing to do with that ball.
1-19.
Score here is 1-19. Chip Morales serving to Andy and Luis. What about Luis Moreno's game do you like?
Well, what I really like is that he could have a nice game and he will have nice rallies with the people that he's playing with.
Okay, so you like as a spectator, you like to see rallies.
Yes.
But then you said that he has this shot right here where he hits it about 6 inches high and puts it away.
Point.
And that's something that you say that is the best shot in handball, it's a kill shot.
Yes.
Okay.
2,
We're learning a lot
19.
from Cesar Pimental from Tucson, Arizona, who was introduced to the game at 7, 8 years of age in the KidCo program by Abraham Montijo. Now
Point.
you travel around to tournaments. How many out-of-town tournaments have you gone to since you met Abraham?
I have gone just,
3,
About 5?
19.
yeah.
About
I-
5. You went to that Santa Fe tournament, I'm assuming, or
Yeah.
Flagstaff?
Oh, no, I have been to the
3,
the Marine
19.
base.
Okay, Semper Fi.
Have been to Santa Barbara,
Point.
Nice.
Venice Beach,
Nice.
and I
Look at this
played
kid.
in all of them.
Now, we had a lot of players come up to us and say that
4, 19.
because of handball, they're able to travel around the country. Do you like that?
Yes.
Do you like going out and meeting
Yeah.
new people?
And meet new places.
And this is also an out-of-town
3.
tournament for you.
Yes.
Okay. Dave Fink in the booth here too, also just in awe of how great your
4,
replacement
19.
will be when you get fired from the WPH. Cesar Pimental, who's just turned 10, is already picking up on how the game is played.
What's
He
your
said-
sleeve size? Because I've got a jacket here that I think might actually fit you.
Let's say
see here.
about
It's about an
4,
18.
19.
Looks
18
pretty
small.
close. It
Actually,
may work for you. I'll be handing that jacket over
1,
probably
3.
tomorrow.
Caesar is unbelievably
19.
cool and
4,
collected.
19.
Go ahead, say the score.
4, 7, 19.
Fortunately, Caesar and I can both fit into your jacket, Dave, with a lot of room to spare.
You actually throw all 5 of his brothers in there. All 5 siblings. Actually, I said 5 out of 7 play handball.
19.
You actually wear a
4.
king-size duvet cover as a jacket.
Made by Eddie Bauer.
Point.
You can find it in their catalog, which is
24.
online.
Now it's just been inside out. That's
Wow, that ball almost hit Chip. And then
One
Luis
down.
Moreno skips it in, and now Andy Nett's going to go for the win here.
Andy Nett's actually going to hit an ace here, Caesar,
24.
to end this first game.
Down the right or left, Dave?
So be down the right.
Goes to the left.
12.
That ball
it's short.
Second
not
serve.
hit very well. Let's see what he does on a second serve here. Flips it up there.
Chip telling me, Dave, before the match, he feels really good, thinks he's playing really good ball right now. The scoreboard doesn't quite reflect that, as these guys trailed 19-1 at one point, now making a little comeback.
Caesar, if you had 4 points up against 20, and you've been doing the same thing over and over and it's not working, what would you do if you're Chip Morales here, serving?
Well, try to do a new serve
Okay,
that no one would
Point.
kind of know,
okay.
or they could try to not try to get it, and they'll be like, "What kind of serve's that?"
Okay, so something that's completely
Different.
abnormal. How about serving the ball behind your back? That would be something that they probably were like,
5,
what is going on here? Right?
Yes.
Nobody can hit the ball behind their back, though. I mean, that's impossible, right? I mean,
Well, no, we've seen Abraham do it many
Yes.
times,
Wow.
right, Caesar?
Yes.
wow, that's hard to believe.
But Caesar has,
One down.
he has vision here. He says Abraham hits a defensive shot that
5,
sets up
20.
the offense where he kills it on the next one.
Well, I was actually just taking an advanced player clinic. John Robles telling me that
Point.
you use whatever serve is working, whatever serve gives you a weak return or an ace.
6, 20.
Perez 6, Nett 20.
Thank you.
It looks like Chip and Vic are building a little bit of momentum going into game number 2.
Point.
Also saving themselves some embarrassment from this score.
7, 20.
Well, Perez is catching up.
You just tuned in, we have a 10-year-old in the booth. Never seen him before in our lives, but we thought we'd throw him in here because we are auditioning Dave Fink's replacement after he gets fired from this weekend's festivities. We thought we would start with somebody with the same mental capabilities and then work our way in another direction. And right now we really
Seems like you want to stay in the same direction then.
we might. Wow, look at that little push right there from Andy Nett. All the play up near the dotted line here, Dave.
Look at this amazing power from Luis and Andy Nett. Just unbelievable. Dave, we're
A perfect rally and he misses
behind
it.
the court here, and we can hear the sound of the ball coming off the front wall when Luis and Andy Nett hit the ball. It's just
During that rally,
incredible.
I put my hand on the back wall and I felt like Helen Keller. Oh, that's a nice ceiling shot. I can feel it.
Replay.
Moreno and Nett serving.
Yeah, they are. And
27.
Moreno is actually serving here at 20-7 to close out this first game.
But Chip and Vic will not go quietly here into the night in this first game.
Moreno's taking every ball up front. He's playing the left, Dave. Andy Nett, Moreno are playing the Vince Munoz and Marco Chavez I formation, and that takes care of the first
5
game for
minutes.
Cesar Pimentel and Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent, Linda Manning, and Jeff Kastner, and the production band and the camera, respectively. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Stick here for game number 2 at racefor8.com.
Game 2. Let's roll. All right, Luis, you're up. Game 2. 0-0.
And we are back here at 0-0, game number 2. Luis Moreno serving to Chip Morales and his doubles partner, Vic Perez. Moreno tied up here with his
Point.
BFF, Andy Nett.
And that's a big miss there for Vic Perez, Dave. As starting off this second game, you certainly want to get off to a good start after trailing 19-1 in the first game. And Vic puts a huge setup in the ground that would have given them their first server coming in at 0-0.
Is Andy Nett and Luis Moreno on the same team in the race for 8?
Actually, they were.
They were two Idaho Spuds, right?
That's right.
That's
they
interesting.
won the team title.
Vic
While we
Perez-
have a minute here, Dave, I wanted to ask you, are the teams going to remain intact next
Point.
year? Is there going to be a complete redraft, or does the core of the team remain and then you pick up
2-0.
free agents, or will there be a supplemental
the
draft
team
to
just
start?
continues on for
Okay.
the race for 8.
Because Sean Lenning and I were talking about how much we enjoyed being teammates. Would hate to have to
Point.
be separated.
You
But-
will always be on the same team.
Okay.
Jake Plummer signed up for
3-0.
another team this year, so he will represent the Idaho Spuds, even though he will not have a pro stop.
So that's official then, that
That's
there is no...
there's no Jake Plummer stop this year on
So-
the Pro Tour. The first stop will be the U.S. Open, which is a open tournament.
So perhaps the RFC becomes the replacement for the Plummer Bash.
Coming in.
Perhaps not.
Mm.
Looks like Houston is a good probability.
Mm.
Denver is I believe a shoe-in. Juarez, Mexico. Salt Lake City, Tucson,
0-3.
Arizona. Seattle, Washington has signed up to be the Players' Championship
Point.
site. And the U.S. Open here in Fountain Valley, California.
1-3.
I believe that's 7 stops.
7 stops right now.
I know you were talking about scaling back, but that's almost the identical number. And if
We
another
wanted to
stop-
scale back, but
Point.
people contacted us, and we were not going to turn them down. And we're going to take the tour out with pacing it
2-3.
without having 2 tournaments in 1 month. Salt Lake City got a hold of me today and said that they're in. We thought we would have 6 stops, and then Salt Lake City said, no, we're definitely back in. And that was voted on as the players as being the best
Down.
stop of the year. So we can't say no to that.
2-3.
2 serves 3.
There has been some discussion amongst the Pro Player Ranking Committee, which is also a subgroup of the Pro Player Committee, as to how to handle the rankings and the invites this season, because we had a little bit of trouble last year with guys that started the season in the top 8, were not winning matches, but still getting points for being invited, and then as a result remained in that top 8 despite not being able to win any matches and earn that appearance fee and also that ranking despite not producing any wins. So we're trying to tweak that
3-3.
system just enough, Dave, to allow a newcomer to come in there and break into that top 8, or at least earn that appearance money based on good results. Haven't really settled on a
Point.
formula just yet, but maybe we could get the input of some of our viewers.
Well, we have a lot of
4-3.
fans of this live broadcast. Simon Fitzgerald, who is a number cruncher back in Australia, might have a better answer than both you and I have when trying to deal with how to best answer that scenario.
Well, just to give Simon and everyone listening, Dave, a little bit of a background. Last year we had a 12-month rolling ranking system, and we also
Coming
had a
in.
separate points race standing, which qualified you for the Players' Championship. That was only the race stops. This year we'll start
3-4.
off the season with the 12-month ranking system, which is all the race stops and the nationals included, I believe.
That's right. Nationals will be included in that ranking system. I mean, why not? The best players in the world are here and should be included.
Will that be considered a major? Will that
Absolutely.
be double points?
Double points.
Okay.
Which means you might be ranked 4th or 3rd because of your semifinals appearance here.
I actually
Replay.
believe I would probably be 5th,
Oh,
would
okay.
be my guess.
Looked like it hit you,
They
Louis.
move
it'll be
ahead of
more than
Alan
that.
Garner, who doesn't pick up any points here.
4-4.
Although we'll have to crunch the numbers, but
Paul Brady will move up just for his win. He will not be ranked number 1 with the WPH based on the fact that he didn't participate in any tournaments for almost 2 years.
I believe the 20 points he'll pick up here, Dave, will put him at about number 10.
Okay.
Possibly number 9.
One screen. 4-4.
And will we be using points from the Nationals from the round of 16 or just from the round of 8? Because you did have to win a round to get into that round of 16.
Round of 8.
Okay.
Make it a little bit more tighter.
Okay.
With fractions of points given to those that win a round in the 16s to go to the 8s. Fractions of points.
You're saying win around in the 32 to get to the 16.
Right.
Well, Chip Morales is one of those guys, Dave, that just missed out on the Players' Championship at number 9 by just a couple of points, and yet he comes here, he loses a match to Luis Cordova 11-10. That, had he won that match here, he jumps ahead of Luis Cordova in the rankings. Instead, he falls way behind Luis Cordova in the rankings.
Stands to reason. That's the way rankings work.
But my question is, Dave, we've got our top 8 who have now separated themselves substantially from the rest of the field. Now, if, for example, Luis Cordova is unable to play in the U.S. Open because he's doing his Air Force training, he still remains at number 7 in the rankings despite not playing there. Will he then be given the invite to the next event because of his ranking, or will someone that had potentially a good showing at the U.S. Open then jump ahead and be granted that appearance? Those are things that we need to iron out.
There's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about as we get ready for this next race season. 4 serves 5. It was successful in the first year. No doubt about that. Chip Morales serving here. Newlywed Chip Morales. Going on his
beautiful
6th month.
wife that's here, Dave. Very supportive of his handball. And that's what you want as a pro handball player, Dave, is a woman that's really going to support your passion and support your career as a handball pro.
Or a guy that supports your career if you are a female player. You are also an Anglo-Saxon who believes in the Judeo-Christian ethics of thou shalt not kill and all that a guy should be with a girl. I need to make that
5-5.
differentiation. We're all together at 5 right now with Vic Perez serving here in the second game, much closer than the first one we watched. Moreno likes to flip to the back wall because he can.
Point.
And then a miss hit.
I call the shot good.
I thought the ball skipped in.
Okay, I call the shot good.
Andy Nett and
Okay, one agrees with me. That's a point. I call it good. Roll out.
Andy Nett and Luis Moreno are standing up there
If
because
you guys think it's skipped.
let's watch the shot here. Everybody on the court knows that this ball skipped.
Okay.
Oh, that was an obvious skip.
Side out then.
Everyone on the court knows
No.
it skipped except for the line
Okay, I
judges
said it
and
was
the
good.
referee.
I got one agree, I got one disagree.
You could tell by the way that Vic Perez hit that
Okay,
before it even
technically,
made
it's a
anywhere
point.
near the front wall that it was a skip.
Chip Morales is always there to pump you up. I've played in
I thought
doubles
he was good.
events with Chip. He's a great doubles partner to play with.
Yeah?
I know that
I got
you
one agree, one disagree.
don't
He
like
thought
to play
it-
doubles.
he thought
I
it
know
was
that
good.
you don't
He
know
thought it
anything
was
about
good.
doubles,
I'm calling the point.
but if you were, he's another guy that I think they can get you on track and make you a great
Okay,
doubles player.
Coming in. 5-6.
You see Chip going over there to calm down his doubles partner, Vic Perez. Luis Moreno now stroking that ball into play here. Luis Moreno plays doubles like he should play singles, more methodical.
Chip Morales, kind of like a Kevin Garnett, who really knows how to get his teammates involved, get them pumped up, and keep them motivated throughout the game. That's a very important asset, Dave, in team play. Chip Morales has that.
Well, Chip Morales at
You also have that, Dave.
Well, Chip Morales at the U.S. Open will play doubles before he plays singles. Much like Kevin Garnett, he'll take a $11 million pay cut just to play where he wants to play.
Point.
Well, I know, Dave, that you're very surprised that Kevin Garnett agreed to play next season, opting to make $30 million rather than sitting on his couch and making zero.
It was actually 34, but I agree with you.
I mean,
Point.
that takes a lot of guts to come out there and make another $34 million.
That's 34 for 3 years. Last year he made 21 million, so it's actually a pay cut.
Okay.
It's a 3-year deal for 34 mil. Last year he made 21 million.
Well, he could easily have made $600,000 or $700,000 playing for another team. So, it's
a great deal for Boston. As Moreno steps back in here at 8-6, they won the first game pretty easy.
I love that serve from Luis Moreno, particularly in doubles. And is this the same guy that lost to Charlie Shanks yesterday, Dave?
Well, Luis was really so surprised and happy that Andy Nett asked him to play doubles with him. He was just livid in the positive that Andy Nett, one of his idols for some reason, was asking him to play doubles. He talked to me multiple times about how great it was to play doubles, and he got his wish.
One down.
He's out of singles, and now he's playing doubles. This is really where he wants to be.
8-6.
Okay. Now, the USHA could actually save some money, Dave, if they decide to send Luis Moreno as their representative in singles. He could also win the doubles. Now they're double dipping on the same player, so that saves them about $2,500 if they choose to send him as their singles and doubles representative.
Well, that's not what I read. They said the U.S. Team U.S. He's not from the United States. He's from Mexico.
Timeout, Chip.
Where was that written? I'd like to see that.
It's on their website.
Okay. So what would happen if he were to play in the World Championships representing the United States but actually from Mexico? I mean, is that a violation of some rule?
The WPH has already said that the top 4 finishers of the race for 8 would go to Ireland. So that covers Luis Moreno, Sean Linning, Alan Garner, and Nadi Alvarado Jr. Now, you are the highest American to go, which would then fall into the category of the United States Handball Association, who said the highest placed American will be representing Team America. So I believe you're going to represent the USHA as the vice president of the WPH.
Well, I'd like to have that formally announced. I know that you and I would like for that to happen.
Well, I can tell you right now that the USHA will find a loophole.
That's what I meant.
As I would if I were the USHA. I already.
Do you really want this guy representing your organization
when
and your
I seeded the tournament, I would have created the loophole while I seeded it by making sure you played into Paul Brady. Oh wait, you did play into Paul Brady. Sorry. But that loophole is what's going to probably hold you up. Score here is 10-6 with Nett and Moreno.
Nett and Moreno pulling away here.
Pulling away.
You know, we've seen Andy Nett, Dave, in the later stages of tournaments, labor a little bit with his swings. You know, he puts so much into every swing that...
Wow.
It seems like his arm really wears down, you know, after the second or third round. Here he looks like it's his first round of play. He's already played 4 or 5 matches here this week, Dave, including a big win over Marcos Chavez. Pushed Paul Brady in the quarterfinal there, scoring 15 points in 1 game, which was more than anyone in the event. Actually more than anyone in the Nationals in the last 3 Nationals that Paul Brady's won. And he's also won a round of doubles.
What makes this important is that Chip Morales is now moved over to the right. He's a right side specialist, and he's taking 90% of the balls on the right side. And when he's active like that, you're going to see some points scored for Team Morales.
That's a great serve, but
there's another point. Now, Chip has to take charge for Team Morales to win, even though I believe Vic is a better player in singles than Chip Morales, as proven by the Spring Classic at the LAAC, where he defeated Chip. But Chip Morales is unbelievable.
Let's not forget Chip defeated Vic in the playoffs in Salt Lake City, and Chip does have a higher ranking.
1 down.
So that's actually debatable. I actually like to go with the guy that has the better ranking, and particularly when they're tied head-to-head.
That's true, but you have to look at the game experience. Chip Morales has been in these positions many times on this court, and Vic just really hasn't.
Well, I think we're agreeing then that we need Chip Morales, or if you are Team Morales, to take over here.
10,
Chip
7.
has to take
We didn't
over.
really know how to agree there.
I've never done it before, so I didn't know the cadence involved. Nice shot right there from Moreno. Any revolving door shot with that type of power is unbelievable. If you're one of these players that have to change your feet. Even Paul Brady had trouble with it today with Charlie Shanks.
In taking John Robles' advanced player clinic, Dave, it's all about TLC. Turn, look, and cover.
Okay.
Get your feet in the right position. Wanted to work that into the webcast somehow. It seemed like it was almost appropriate at that time.
John Robles knows how to cover as about as good as anybody I've ever seen.
12, 7.
He'll cover even when he's completely exhausted. Watch Luis Moreno's footwork here in the doubles. He looks like a brand new player out here. Playing with his childhood idol, the Dreamboat, Andy Nett.
The Dreamboat Andy Nett made an appearance last night, Dave, at the pro player party. He was there with his lovely girlfriend. And it's interesting, Dave, he and Bailey Chandler have very similar games relative to the male and female pro game. Bailey Chandler, incredibly athletic, hits the ball very hard. Bailey Chandler was the number 8 seed, just as Andy was. She played in the number 1 Irish, gave her a very close game in one of the games, and then went down at about 9 or 10 in the second game. Eerily similar, Dave, to the Dreamboat, her boyfriend, who gave Paul Brady a close game in one game and then lost at about 9 or 10 in the next game. So striking similarities. I believe Bailey's still in the doubles. As far as I know, she might be on the court right now. They could both end up winning the doubles here, Dave.
Okay. Both from the Midwest.
Now both living in Minnesota.
This is a very entertaining doubles match here. Look at the athleticism between these 4 players. Andy Nett's going to stroke that ball hard. Drives it around the revolving door.
Contact.
I don't like the referee waiting that long, giving Vic the chance to play there.
I actually like it because I believe the referee sees the contact and he's waiting to see if the player will raise their hand. Player.
That's a tough ball to play, though. I mean,
yeah, but it's not ungettable. It's not ungettable.
Well, I miss that ball all the time with no contact. He got through the contact. He still had a clear shot at the ball and misses it. I mean, that's a tough shot to play.
You want that player to actually raise their hand while they're going for that ball? That's very hard to do.
I just don't like the referee giving the player the chance to make the return, and then when he shanks the return, he gets the call. That's
it's not given that it's not returnable, though. I saw you get some balls that I didn't think any human could get. And if I was a referee, I would have maybe said side out before you even got there. So
15-7.
That's a nice compliment.
It's the first one ever. You might want to mark that at home if you're keeping score. 0 for 20.
Second serve.
Love the way Andy Nett is swinging right now. He just looks really in tune right now, in sync. He's got amazing timing right now. And you know, Dave, there's some days you're just completely feeling it. You've got the perfect contact point, perfect release.
Replay.
That ball being played over.
And we've seen Andy, Dave, actually in the middle of this season start kind of spraying the ball all over the place, just mishitting a lot of balls that normally he drives. And we saw him go through a little bit of a slump there in the middle of this race season after a hot start. He finished strong, but now it looks like he's right back where he was at the beginning of the season, where he was really a force to be reckoned with, nearly defeating Luis Moreno in race stop number 3, advancing to the quarterfinals in a couple early events.
One down.
Well, Andy Nett had an elbow injury that he encountered, and that's what really started everything for him. He said our stops were so quick that it never gave him time to actually heal. He would take a whole stop off between the next stop and then just come out and start to play and then injure it again right before the next stop. So he said he just needed another five weeks.
Well, you know, Andy is the ultimate sportsman, Dave. The guy's an amazing athlete. He's got accomplishments, All-American honors in football and basketball, and of course in handball. You'll never hear him brag about anything, and you'll never hear him make an excuse, or you'll never hear him talk about one of his injuries. He's just one of those guys, Dave, a stand-up guy.
But also in baseball, something you didn't know, that he was an amazing baseball player as well, and even scouted. But his love was football as a quarterback, where he was an All-American football quarterback. And he decided to
Point.
also come into the basketball realm as a walk-on, and he ended up being the starting point guard at 6'2". And you said multiple times that he's won slam dunk contests at his college.
He and his girlfriend Bailey are actually working on a new slam dunk. They told me not to even mention this, but he jumps over Bailey, who stands about 5 feet in front of the rim.
Wow.
And throws it down with 2 hands.
Pretty impressive.
But you know, Dave, there's some of these guys will play basketball or something just as cross-training, maybe soccer. Andy Nett has a basketball tournament 2 days from now, and this isn't just something he does to stay in shape. He's playing competitive, nationally ranked level competition basketball.
Look at that stroke right there from Vic Perez. He's going to go for it again, pushing it down to Andy Nett. Andy is the perfect right side player, by the way. He's playing really deep, does not know necessarily the best place to stand as he plays in Minnesota, normally a left side guy, but he has such great retrieving ability that Andy Nett up front is very, very difficult to try to get a ball through.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, the first time Andy Nett and I played was in doubles last year at the Nationals, and he was just absolutely incredible. He played with Tim Labey, who's a former pro player now in his mid-40s, and Tim was certainly a liability in that match just because of his age and not being used to the speed of the ball. But Andy Nett single-handedly, Dave, carried that team through Luis Cordova and I, who actually played a pretty good match.
Here he is, the athlete, the dreamboat. Andy Nett serving at 16-8 here. This is our last broadcast match of the day.
It looked like kind of a short broadcast day for us on the schedule, but it's been a full day out here, Dave, about 8 hours on the mic. But it's only 102 degrees here in the tent, so it's not too bad.
WPH Victory Party A, which took place last night in Laguna Beach. B takes place tonight at Mark Shelgren's house.
Wow. Didn't get an invite to that, so I guess I won't be going.
You will not, but I did.
8-16.
And I will be there for that one.
So that's respectful. And a lot like my broadcast partner, if I don't receive an invitation in the mail, first class, addressed directly to me and my wife, I'm not going. Text message invites don't count.
Wow.
I do accept evites though, as long as they're 1 week before the actual party.
One down. 8-16.
I like the evite option, Dave, because it gives me a chance to see who else is going. I know if you've confirmed, then I won't be going. If you haven't confirmed, then there's a good chance I will. Don't like to mingle with you socially. It usually does not end well. And when I say usually, I mean every time. And look at that beautiful inside-out overhand fist from Luis Moreno. And it's very hard to hit passing shots for winners in doubles, Dave, but when you hit the ball 103 miles per hour, like Luis Moreno just did, absolutely tremendous.
Point.
And look at Luis put a huge reverse on that left-hand pass. Fred Lewis, thanks for joining us here.
I'm back.
You call that a
watching
pass?
juniors.
You call that a pass or a kill that Luis Moreno hit there down the left? It was about 6 inches high, but drove it right by Vic Perez.
Great spot to put it.
Earlier, Fred, you missed out as Cesar Pimental was in the broadcast booth for the first game here.
Oh, you mean Disco?
Disco.
They call him
Pimental.
Disco.
He absolutely loves handball, and we missed out on that. I know you're watching some juniors play, but he was talking
Yeah,
about.
I think he's playing right now.
He's talking about how much the influence of Abraham Montijo has been on his life.
Point.
Great serve by Andy.
Fred, I wanted to ask you real quick as this match is wrapping up. Luis Moreno has dominated
19,
the pro stop events, but he comes to these majors and it just doesn't seem like he's the same guy. Now, he looks great here in doubles, but he was certainly one of the favorites in the US Open, lost in the semifinals. One of the favorites here, lost again in the semifinals. What's the difference? Is that something psychological with Luis, or is it just running into a guy that's playing really well earlier in the draw?
Coming in.
I think it's a couple things. Number one, I know he hates this ball,
8-19.
hates it with a passion.
Start.
And, you know, when you have that in your head, no matter what you try to
Razor.
do, and I'm not making excuses for him, but he's going into the court with a negative attitude to begin with. That's number one. Then number two, you know, he left Tucson for a month, and I don't know what he was doing up in Alaska, but I
19.
know he had to have had better competition in Tucson where he could have been training. So that's my 2 cents worth.
One down.
Well, certainly not excuses. I mean, I asked you for excuses pretty much the way the question was phrased.
But that doesn't
9-19.
explain why he's playing so good here in
That's,
doubles.
well, that was my follow-up question. He
Well,
looks
I'm
like
following up for you.
Okay, okay.
Fred,
Well, you know,
appreciate that.
So relaxed.
doubles is a different animal, and you know, you guys are talking about he's playing with Andy, so you know he's got some responsibility here. You know, this doubles is a team
Point.
effort. You know, it's not just him. If he screws up in doubles, he's hurting somebody else. So
10-19.
I know how much respect he has for Andy, and Andy's doing a great job.
Well, who doesn't have respect for Andy?
I have respect for Andy. He's the best looking guy I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, Ford Bottling Agency has respect for Andy.
True.
I had about 2 seconds to get that joke out, and I was really searching for it, and I found it.
The most distinguished man,
Replay.
interesting man in the world
Mm-hmm.
10-19.
has Andy on speed dial. He sits around
Point.
with nothing to do waiting for Andy to send him a Christmas card. As he should.
11-19.
11 serves 19. Vic Perez, who is training to be a sheriff with the LA Sheriff's Department. That seems like a
Sander.
Wow,
brutal
you're going the
job.
wrong way, Luis.
Oh, that's a
come
terrible
on.
call. Just a horrible call. Fred Lewis, I hope
Who's the
that
ref?
from this point forward,
the
Fred,
ref?
you
Yeah, I
can
didn't
start
think
holding
you could get
referee
it.
clinics, because what we're seeing is just flat out embarrassing here
12-19.
from
Who's
the
the ref?
referees.
Dave Steinberg.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
I'll tell you what's worse than some of these calls from the ref is their explanation of the call, which I
Well-
think we should put into a mashed up video played by DJ Porter, because it's unbelievable some
It's
of the stuff
about
I'm
damn
hearing.
time.
One clap. Do this, do that.
Well, Dave, I think you and I both know when the referee
Replay
comes
contact.
onto the court before the match starts and starts explaining
12-19.
court hinder balls and avoidable calls, and you know you're in for a rough day with the referee. And that's what this referee does before matches start.
Well, I'm not going to go there. I think Dave's a great ref. He's been doing a great job. He's one of our premier referees.
I believe Abraham
I'm-
Montijo
I'm-
is our best referee,
I'm
and I haven't
slightly
seen him up
insulted.
there in any
Well,
of the
he's-
big matches.
He's training some kids here. He
19,
has a whole
12.
group. I think our referee's doing a good job. You blow one call, that doesn't make him a bad ref.
To me, it does. If I hit one bad shot, I don't care how the rest of the match went.
Down.
It was a bad day.
Luis Moreno just skipped that ball in. Now, Nett will be serving.
19-12.
Isn't it strange that a guy that has the nickname The Fly has never fly killed a ball in his entire life? 19-12.
I'm not sure who the fly is.
It's all right. Fred knows.
Screen.
And are you
That was a
still
great.
complimenting our ref?
I'm laughing at that call. I'm
I want
laughing
to know
at
if
that
Dave
call.
DV was still complimenting our referee after that call.
I agree with the ref on that call.
Huh.
Point.
Andy Nett goes to the patented
one-
dreamboat dive
Coming in.
on one hand, kind of doing the worm and then hitting the ball.
Something like that, Fred.
Do you call that the worm, DV?
That was a
12-19.
worm-like shot. 12 serves
12.
19.
Yeah, I don't,
Serve.
I don't know what you guys are talking about here. I don't think Luis is playing that great.
Well, he did early.
Well, he's swinging with a lot of freedom.
He's
which I
standing in
didn't
the
see
front
yet.
of the court,
One
and he's
down.
cutting everything off, and he's not doing anything with it.
But what's happening right now is
And then
that
he just floored like 3 back wall setups.
but Vic
12-19.
Perez and Chip Morales are now starting to edge their way back.
Is that a hinder?
There was contact there, but with his own player.
I thought that was a screen.
That was a bigger hinder than the other one.
I agree with you there.
Oh, the referee's going to give it to him. He lobbied and he got it. Now they're back in the server's box.
Yeah.
Let's look at the replay.
Well, I agree. Conventionally, this is a hinder, but judging by the previous calls, I don't think it is a hinder.
Oh, come on. It's such a hinder.
Absolutely.
Is
His ball
that
was up. His ball was up and he was screened.
13, 19.
I couldn't see it.
He was screened because he was out of position.
Start.
Is it a
Andy and Luis just playing so well, or is this a combination of maybe Luis and Andy playing well and Chip and Vic not playing so well? Because
he's grounded another back wall shot.
Luis and Andy, it's just let up. They're bored, Dave,
14,
and they let up.
Yeah,
Well, I'm talking about
Well, they
overall in
should be
this match. The
bored.
first game was 7. This game is also not close.
You should go through your opponent, period. Look at this.
I just see these guys as being bored. I don't see Chip and Vic playing exceptionally well.
Andy goes with the worm again there and keeps the rally alive. Luis and Andy just cannot close this match out.
Lazy shot.
Well, Chip's not going to give up.
He's
Especially
not?
if he's standing up front. Not in this game.
They got a break there.
Terrible shot from
Coming
Vic
in.
Perez. I don't know why Vic's over there on the left.
Calling a timeout or what? Tell.
A little more empathy. Not much. At least you admitted. What's the purpose of getting intoxicated?
See if Luis and Andy can put
Coming in.
Vic and Chip out of their misery here.
19-14.
19-14. Luis likes to go reverse here. That ball checked up so much on that
Down.
reverse that it went to Vic Perez.
All of a sudden now, Dave, Vic Perez and Chip Morales with all the momentum.
19-14.
What happened?
What happened? Skitter? Okay.
It hit this crease that runs straight down the back wall. Not sure actually what the call is there. Did not hit that
I
crease.
thought I saw 2 bounces from Chip.
Didn't
Chip
hit
can't
the crease,
appeal.
but you
calling
can't
it a
stop
point,
play.
Chip? Point?
Chip cannot
How do you
stop
stop
playing.
play?
He can't
Right.
stop playing and say, was that a
Point.
double bounce? The
Nice
point's
call,
over.
Thank you.
You
Referee,
can play out the point and then say, was it a double bounce?
referee gave him a point, though.
20-14.
I
Called
agree
it
with that
right.
call.
See an
And he
ace
should
here.
go for the crack
See
on
an
the
ace.
left here.
Crack on the right. What happened there?
Game.
2 consecutive
Deuce
unreturned
Prince.
serves from Andy Nett down the right, and the match is over, Dave. It's
That
Luis
means-
Moreno and Andy Nett, the #1 seeds, advancing to the final to take on the Cordova brothers.
That'll be in a final tomorrow. We have Ashley
that,
Riley
Fred?
versus Mariana Rush. That's 2 Irish players facing each other in the women's finals. And we already have a men's champion. Paul Brady defeated Charlie Shanks. We'll have more action coming up tomorrow. This concludes our broadcast day. The World Players of Handball at the 62nd USHA 4-Wall National Handball Championships. For Fred Lewis, Linda Manning, as well as Ashley Moeller, Jeff Kastner, Dave Fink, and Fred Lewis. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back with more action coming up right around the corner. Want to thank Lolita Vincent for her photography work with the World Players of Handball. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in at racerate.com.
Hello, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. Our non-toxic, biodegradable, all-purpose cleaner works great for cleaning. Thank you. Non-toxic, biodegradable, Simple Green. It's great for cleaning.
It's time to join forces. Get energized and fuel up right. Because starting today, every kid in America has a mission. Bring out the action hero in you. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.